is ATN Global News. First, the headlines. Rivers State Police parade dead body of wanted cultists. Pueblo wins postpone Edo APC governorship primary. INEC publishes 2023 general election report. FARC shares 1 billion naira January 2024 revenue to federal government and others. Guinea's junta lift internet restrictions. Daizalis pays homage to Fela on new single. Europa League round of 16 draw confirmed. Commissioner of Police on Friday paraded the dead body of Gift David, aka Tubaba, the Iceland court leader responsible for the killing of Superior of Police Baku Angbashim on September 8, 2023. Commissioner of Police CP Olatunji Disu, in the press briefing at the police headquarters, said the dead body of Tubaba said the dead body was located and exhumed Friday morning in a shallow grave at Ebras Forest at Ahoda West local government area of Rivers State. The CP expressed thanks to Nigerian Air Force, Inspector General of Police Egbetoku, Intelligence Response Team Abuja, and tactical teams in Rivers State for their assistance. CP Disu said the Air Force assisted them to soften the ground by their airstrike. Meanwhile, the chairman of Ahoda East, Ben Eke, has commended the police, Inspector General of Police for their achievement. Rivers State Ministry of Health has confirmed a fresh outbreak of Lassa fever in the state. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adaize Ore, who disclosed this in Port Harcourt, said one fatality case has already been recorded. According to her, the incident followed 4 cases presented at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. Ore said while one of the cases was confirmed after the death of the patient, the other 3 cases have been treated and the patient reunited with their families. Dr. Ore said a combined team of stakeholders in the health sector are working to ensure the protection of lives and assure Rivers people of the state government to contain the Lassa fever outbreak. She further said the government had enough commodities and materials to contain the outbreak of the disease and urged members of the public to always promote community hygiene. The commissioner said all health service centers are kindly advised to maintain simple trial systems for all patients and sustain the standard infection prevention principles required for service delivery. She therefore advised the public to keep food and water covered to prevent contamination by rodent, store grains and other foodstuff in rodent-proof containers, dispose of garbage neatly, and maintain clean household and environment, among others. Soldiers from the Nigerian Army 3 Battalion in Efun, Uwe local government area of Delta State on Friday arrested the South Bureau Chief of Galaxy Television, Daily Fashion, for recording video clips during a planned labor protest in the metropolis. Also, the soldiers whisked a human rights activist, Comrade Israel Joe, to a nearby military barracks following a mild rift between him and other activists, including Kelvin Ejemudo and others. However, the planned protest could not hold in the Delta metropolis as it was cancelled after critical stakeholders met and discussed the issues on Thursday night. The molestation of the television journalist took place at the popular DSC roundabout in Efuru, where the soldiers allegedly brutalized and hit him with the butt of the guns. Witnesses said that Fashion was picked up by the soldiers in the presence of the police team led by Deputy Commissioner of Police, DC Operations, Aino Adeshola. Fashion, however, commended the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Aino Adeshola, for promptly intervening in the matter. Also speaking with journalists, the National Secretary of Human Rights Protection Congress, Comrade Kelvin Ejimudo, said the civil society organization came out to ensure that the protest did not hold following the threat across the nation. He, however, urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other state governors with the local government chairman to, as a matter of urgency, tackle the hunger in the land. The DC Police Operations, Aina Adeshola, while speaking with newsmen, said he was sent to the scene by the Commissioner of Police to maintain peace. Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has vowed that the People's Democratic Party will lose if the party fails to field him as its candidate in the state governorship election. Shaibu made this vow while speaking in an interview on Friday. Recall that Asue Godalo won the PDP primary at Samuel Ogbemudio Stadium in Benin City on Thursday, while Shaibu won the parallel election at a different venue. But Shaibu maintained that he is the authentic candidate of the party for September 21st election, saying that Edo people do not want Ighodalo, whom he said is not a homeboy. The deputy governor faulted the primary that produced Ighodalo, saying that it was organized by the state party executive instead of the national executive of the party. He claimed that members of the state executive and the governor are supporters of Ighodalo and therefore were not going to conduct an unbiased election. Shaibu insisted that he was elected by the authentic delegate of the party in the state. Senator Monday Okwebolo has been declared winner of the All Progressive Congress governorship primaries in Edo State. Okwebolo polled 12,433 votes to defeat 11 other aspirants who contested the rerun election. It was initiated after the first contestant was declared inclusive by the leadership of the ruling party. The senator was one of the 3 winners that emerged from last Saturday council shadow poll. The final outcome of the exercise was announced officially in Benin by the new chairman of the election committee and governor of Cross River State, Basi Otu, following the collation of result sheets from the 18 local government areas. Also, former national chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Olumide Akpata, has been declared winner of the Edo Labour Party governorship primary election. Akpata scored 316 votes to win the exercise held in Benin City, the Edo State capital, on Friday. Deputy Governor of Abia State, Ikechukwu Emetu, who is the only officer of the poll, made the declaration after collating the result. Forward operating base of the Nigerian Navy in Badagry, Lagos State, intercepted 15,540 liters of petrol stored in the building along the creeks. Commanding officer of the FOB, Navy Captain B.A. Amakri, said naval operatives intercepted 518,030 jerry cans on Thursday at about 11 a.m. at Agbejoto Akorin Beach along Badagry Seme Road. According to him, the Navy acted after receiving an intelligence tip-off about the activities of some suspected smugglers within the area. Amakri explained that the quantity of the petrol product translates to about 15,540 liters, valued at 9,479,400 naira at the current rate of about 610 per liter. Amakri stated the commitment of his officers to continue making smuggling unattractive, adding that the economic saboteurs will be frustrated until smuggling was suppressed to the barest minimum. President Bola Tinubu on Friday led governors, members of the National Assembly, and other dignitaries to the final burial ceremony of former governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, in Owo. Also present were the secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, and governors of Ekiti, Osun, Enugu, Bayelsa, Kwara, Benue, Lagos, Anambra, Ogun, Oyo, and Delta State. Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, chieftains of the party, and other dignitaries were also present at the burial ceremony, filled with grave held at St. Andrew's Cathedral, Imola, Owo. In a sermon titled The Brevity of Life, the Bishop of Ikure and Archbishop of Niger Delta Province, Anglican Communion, Reverend Blessing Eyinda, said, "Life is short, meaningless, and vanity without God." Eyinda emphasized the transcendent nature of life and the importance of making a meaningful impact while on earth. He said man's life is like a shadow that vanished like a vapor, and urged all politicians present to see to the hardship that Nigerians were facing. The bishop, quoting from Psalm 39, verse 4 to 5, urged attendees to reflect on their legacy and the significance of their action. Eyinda highlighted the impactful contribution of Akeredolu to Ondo State, dedicated service to the Anglican Church. He called for the protection of Akeredolu's legacy and for the government to continue with the project he initiated but could not complete. Speaking at the event, President Bola Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, said Nigeria has lost a man who left an indomitable legacy of national service. Tinubu said it was not a day to mourn, but to remember and celebrate life with God and the humanity of Akeredolu, who served humanity to the best of his ability. He said Akeredolu left an indelible blueprint in the sands of history and will forever be remembered by all. Also speaking at the church service, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa appreciated all dignitaries present for paying the last respect to his late principal. He said described his former principal as a great man who will be remembered for his voice on national issues like rule of law and good governance. After the church service, Akeredolu was buried at a private ceremony strictly for family members. Bearing last-minute change, Yoruba Nation activist Sunday Adeyemo, fondly called Sunday Igboho, will return to his Soka Ibadan residence on Saturday. The return, which could be termed homecoming, will be the first time the activists will be visiting the residence in the last 3 years. It was gathered that the activities will be at the residence to play host to top dignitaries and his supporters, including ceremony of the burial of his late mother. Igboho is in his native town of Igboho. Igboho flew the country following the deadly attack on his residence in Ibadan, the Oyo capital, on July 1st, 2021. It was gathered that he fled from Germany, where he had been after a Beninese court granted him bail last year. He narrowly escaped from Ibadan in the early hours of July 1st, 2021, when a combined team of Department of State Security and Nigerian Army personnel invaded his house located at Soka in Ibadan, killing 2 persons, while 13 of his supporters were arrested, arraigned, and later granted bail by the Federal High Court of Abuja Division, presided over by Justice Obiora Egwuachu. Confirming his arrival in the country when contacted, the spokesman to the activist, Olayomi Koiki, said the agitator is in the country for the burial of his mother, who died last year. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has approved the construction of a 16-kilometer road to end a 46-year-old land dispute between the Nigerian Air Force Tactical Air Command Makurdi and its host communities. The move comes after a meeting he held with a delegation from the Air Force, as well as a representative of Ugondo and Mbavo communities, to discuss ways to resolve the lingering land dispute. At the meeting in Makurdi, the state capital, Governor Alia said the road will link the borders of Makurdi and Gwen West up to the Gwen West boundary with the Boko local government area to make the communities more accessible. According to him, resolving the dispute would attract more federal government presence, thereby bringing more development to the state. The governor thanked the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, for his effort to ensure that the decade-long dispute was resolved, and reiterated his administration readiness to ensure that more developmental projects are brought into the state. He added that the road would serve as a permanent boundary between the natives and the Air Force. Earlier in his address, the leader of the delegation and the Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command, Nigerian Air Force Makurdi, Air Vice Marshal F.O. Edahosas, noted that the effort made in the past to resolve the land dispute had failed. Operatives of the Ilorin Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested 48 students of the Kwara State University and 2 residents of Malete over offenses bordering on internet fraud, popularly known as Yahoo Yahoo. The arrest was sequel to credible intelligence over the rising trend of Yahoo Yahoo business in the state, especially on campuses. In his bid to free the state of corruption and other nefarious activities of the Yahoo Yahoo boys, the FCC swung into action. Upon discreet investigation, operatives of the commission closed on the suspect and got them arrested in their various hideouts after days of surveillance on Wednesday, February 24, 2024. The suspects are Idris Yakini, Ayatollah Shegun, Adeshino Tahib, Mustafa Alamin, Usman Harun, Oladimeji Oseni, Kudus Temitope, Adewumi Israel, Lukman Otman, amongst others. Items recovered from the suspect include 9 exotic cars, 24 laptops, and different brands of phones. The suspect will soon be arraigned in court upon the conclusion of the ongoing investigations. The former governor of Kwara State, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, has been granted bail by the Federal High Court, Ilorin, in a sum of 50 million with 2 shorties with landed properties in Ilorin, the state capital. Ahmed is to deposit his international passport with the court, among other conditions. The former governor was arraigned on Friday by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission following his invitation by the anti-graft agency for questioning on Monday. However, journalists were barred from covering the arraignment of the former governor as they were denied entry into the court. Journalists outside the court premises where former Governor Fattah Ahmed is being arraigned on Friday, February 23, 2024. Ahmed was taken by the anti-graft agency on Monday, where he was being quizzed over transactions running into billions of naira during his time as governor of the state. Ahmed was governor of the North Central State between May 2011 and May 2019, before he handed over to Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. He was once quizzed in May 2021 by a crack team operative of the EFCC headquarters in the Jabi area of Abuja, the nation's capital, in connection with the alleged diversion of funds to the tune of about 9 billion naira from the coffers of the Kwara State government. The money was alleged to have been diverted during Ahmed's tenure as governor of the state and when he served as the Commissioner of Finance in the administration of ex-governor Bukola Saraki. Taraba State House of Assembly has passed into law the establishment of 1 rotational first-class chief and 3 third-class chiefs bill 2024 for the Takum local government area, thereby settling the decades-old tussle for the Ukwem Takum stool. The bill, titled A Bill for Law to Provide for the Establishment of 1 rotational first-class chief and 3 third-class chiefs in Takum among the tribes of Kuteb, Chemba, and Jukun Takum respectively, and other matters connected. January 2024, Governor Abu Kefas had earlier in the week sent an executive bill to the House seeking the establishment of 1 rotational first-class chief and 3 third-class chiefs in Takum. In a plenary session held under a makeshift arrangement, Chairman of the House Committee, on local government, traditional and chieftaincy affairs, Peter Dyer, said the House considered the general principles of the bill. After an executive debate, it was referred to the committee for further legislative action. According to him, several stakeholders submitted their memoranda, which included Taraba State Council of Chiefs, Ministry of Justice, Bureau for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Kutebi Aso of Nigeria, Chief Cultural Association, Taraba State, Jukum Takum, among others. After laying the report, they have further collaborated on the report. According to him, the committee saw the need to unite the three tribes of Takum for peace to reign. He recalled that a similar thing has happened on the Mambila Plateau, explaining that this was the only way to have peace in Takum. During the debate, member representing Takum 1 in the State Assembly, Abubakar Tanko, said for the past 28 years, attempts had been made to implement report concerning the stool which did not work, and that there was a need to try something else to bring peace. The federal government has directed the owners of 1,321 medicine stores sealed in Kanu to relocate to the Coordinated Wholesale Center at Dangwaro area to ensure proper monitoring and safeguard the country. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, in collaboration with the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, sealed the stores on February 18 for operating illegally in Kanu. The Minister of Health, Mohammed Ali Pate, gave the directive while addressing newsmen shortly after inspecting the CWC on Friday on Zaria Road, Dangwaro, Kanu. He said the safety of Nigerians, their health and well-being was very important at the decision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. According to him, drug distribution system is an essential element in improving safety and efficacy of the medication that our population consumes. He called on drug dealers to comply with the guidelines and provision of regulatory laws. The Kano State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Abubakar Labaran, said the state will assist smaller drug dealers to acquire shops at the CWC. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break.
The Ejogu family of Umuna in Amuju in Isu, local government area of Imo State, cheerfully mourn the demise of their daughter, sister and mother, prophetess Kola Ijoma Ejogu, whose sad event occurred on Saturday, 5th of January 2024 at UPTH. Burial arrangement, night of tribute. Date is Thursday, the 29th of February 2024. Time is 4 p.m. and venue is Wish Complex, Wish Avenue, Radio Estate, NT Road, Uzoba, Port Harcourt. Burial service. Order of Ministry. Date Sunday the 3rd of March 2024. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue Umuna in Izu, local government area of Imo State. Retirement follows immediately after service. She is survived by Mrs. Roslyn Obona Murder, Raphael, Richard, and Wisdom sons. Sonny Ejogu, Ugochukwu Ejogu, Chukwudi Ejogu as brothers, and Kechinere Sebastian sister. May her soul rest in peace. Sign Apostle Sonny Ejogu and Senior Leader Raphael Ukudiri Ejogu on behalf of the family.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Chairman Senate Committee on 1999 Amendment of the Constitution, Senator Barao Jibril, has indicated commitment to conclude his committee review of the Constitution within the next 24 months. It should be recalled that the committee was announced by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio last week to engage stakeholders and amend relevant sections of the Constitution that addresses contemporary national issues. Senator Barao, during the inauguration of the committee, stressed that the aim of the committee is not to rewrite the Nigerian Constitution, but to amend the Constitution in line with the wishes and aspirations of Nigerians. He, however, enjoins members to be committed to the activities of the committee, as the task ahead was huge and some of the issues conversed by stakeholders are delicate. He noted that the committee will consult and engage with critical stakeholders to ensure bills passed by the National Assembly are approved by the state houses of assembly and assented by the President.
It is important to note that the committee is not constituted to rewrite the 1999 Constitution. But if we have several amendments that can change the entire thing, so be it. But what we want to do is to amend the Constitution in line with the wishes and aspirations of the people of this country. The committee will strongly consult and engage critical stakeholders in a way that will ensure that bills passed by the National Assembly will be approved by the houses of our Assembly and assented to by Mr. President.
Senator Eyinaya Baribe, in his comment, advised the committee to work with time to achieve successful process meeting the aspirations of Nigeria.
We always waste so much time until the end of the session. And by the time we now compile everything, and if he says that he will not assent to certain parts of the bills, then we end up not being able to do anything again about it. So, is it possible, which I think it is, for us to do it in such a way that even if Mr. President says this bill is not, I will not assent to it for one reason or the other, we can still, as a Constitutional Amendment Committee, look into it, pass it with the desired amendments, and bring it back to the President for assent. Time, and I dare say, we are not. It is not because we don't or we cannot create the time. It is because we simply have, over the years, developed the habit of having a calendar that goes for 3 years or more.
The committee workings are to be in synergy with the House of Representatives and all state assembly in the Federation, and the outcome is subject to presidential assent. The House of Representatives today held a valedictory session in honor of former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Umar Gali Naawa, and the emotion-laden plenary which held at the Green Chamber. The House Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, described the late Speaker as leader of a formidable team who contributed immensely to the development of the Green Chamber in particular and Nigeria in general. Gali Umar Naawa, a prominent figure in Nigerian politics, passed away on December 27, 2023, in Abuja after battling a prolonged illness. He served as the Speaker of the House between 1999 and 2003 and was known for his role in fighting for the autonomy of the legislature against an overbearing executive. Speaker of the House, Honorable Abbas, in his remark on the late Speaker, emphasized the contribution he made to advance the cause of democracy in the country. He said his tenure ensured the independence of the legislature and recognizing that a truly democratic society thrives when its legislative arms operate without undue influence and freely articulating the will and aspiration of the people.
His tenure was marked by efforts to ensure the independence of the legislature, recognizing that a truly democratic society thrives when its legislative arms operate without undue influence, freely articulating the will and aspirations of the people. He worked diligently with his colleagues to ensure the National Assembly budgets were put on first-line charge. He also formalized the legislative aid system we operate today, which continues to boost the capacity of legislators. for enhanced performance. The vision of Honorable Gali Abba has been supported by successive administrations, with the executive arm working in concert with the National Assembly to ensure good governance, transparency, and accountability.
Other members in their good messages eulogized the former lawmaker, describing him as a passionate, consistent, and disciplined Democrat who contributed his quota to the development of the state and Nigeria.
We are very happy and pleased with what Honourable Speaker and principal and members of the House are doing to the families of late Gali Umar Naba. He was a good man, a distinguished Nigerian, and we need to keep the families of those kind of people in good shape, so that it will be an example for other leaders to say, even if we are not around, our offspring will not suffer.
Irrespective of the three political parties then, I was with the APP, then you have the P, he was with the PDP, and you have the AD. But that was kept aside. National issue in the morning, national issue in the afternoon, national issue in the night. And whatever National Assembly is today, that was the man that started it to get the independence of the National Assembly or the Parliament. Until today, if the national issue cannot encompass the 6 geopolitical zones, then count the Speaker of blessed memory out.
When our nation returned to democratic rule in 1999, the rules, the protocols, and conventions that guide us today did not exist at that time. Yet, Right Honorable Gali Umar Naba understood that the legislature was the heart and conscience of this new democratic settlement. And he worked to defend the independence of the House of Representatives and ensure the legislature's fidelity to its responsibilities.
No longer do we celebrate just wealth. We celebrate a man who believes that democracy is the best option. And this is a message to those who are thinking of other options. There is no option better than democracy. Let the labors of our heroes pass, which has happened to be one of them that has joined the queue. May it not be in vain.
I met him several times, usually whenever he came to the villa. And we exchanged ideas as co-professionals. And I know every time he will always remind me that, Professor, I hope you remember that nobody lives in a bulletproof car. And that statement always came from when we agreed that if the political elites in Nigeria are not careful and the people decide to react, the bulletproof car will not save anybody.
Former Speaker, late Honorable Gali Na'aba, was born on September 27, 1958, in Kano State, and was a member of the People's Democratic Party. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, will on Monday swear in the 11 justices of the Supreme Court, whose appointment was confirmed by the Senate on December 21st last year. Supreme Court spokesman Dr. Festus Akande, who confirmed this, said the event will hold by 10 a.m. at the main courtroom of the court. Justices are Jumai Hanatu Sanki, Chidebere Nwoma Uwa, Chioma Egondu Nwosu Iheme, Haruno Simon Samani, and More Asemo A. Adume. Others are Justices Obande Festus Obunya, Stephen Jonah Ada, Habib Adewale O. Abiru, Jamilu Yaman Tuko, Abubakar Sadiq Umar, and Mohammed Baba Idris. INEC has released the 2023 General Elections Report. The Commission disclosed this in a statement by the National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, in Abuja on Friday. Olumekun said the election report was reviewed and approved for publication at the Commission's weekly meeting held on Thursday. He said the publication was done in keeping with the Commission's tradition over the last 4 electoral cycles and its commitment to transparency. Ulumekun said the comprehensive 526-page document, structured into 13 chapters and enhanced with 60 tables, 14 boxes, and 10 graphs, offered an in-depth analysis of the election script processes, achievements, and challenges, along with valuable lessons learned. Ulumekun said the document has been made accessible on the INEC website and social media platforms. He said the Commission would welcome feedback to inform future electoral reforms and improvement. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, has dismissed speculations that he was parting company with the party. In a statement signed by the Peter Obi Media Reach, POMR, the LP candidate distanced himself from the news item on some online platforms, stating that he was the handiwork of mischief makers. In a statement signed by Obi's media aide, Michael Jude Nwolisa, on Friday, the POMR expressed his wish to actually dismiss trending fake and fallacious news story, suggesting that he was parting ways with the Labour Party. Peter Obi therefore assured Nigerians, particularly the obedient family, that his way with Labour is unshaken and intact, and that the struggle to rescue Nigeria from the criminal gangs holding it down will not stop until it's achieved through the will of the Nigerian people. Bearing any last-minute change in plans, the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, will on February 26 move to secure his release on bail, pending termination of his trial at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu has been detained by the Department of State Services on the orders of the Nigerian government since June 2021, when he was subjected to extraordinary extradition from Kenya back to the country. Upon his return, the appeal court discharged and acquitted Kanu of all charges bordering on terrorism, but in December 2023, Supreme Court overturned the ruling and returned the case to the Abuja Federal High Court for continuation of trial. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has fixed February 26 for resumption of Kanu's terrorism trial. However, it was learned that the IPOB legal team is anchoring Kanu's bail on his lack of privacy, driven decisions by his lawyers, which adversely impact on his constitutional right to counsel and advocacy for facilitating preparation of his defense. The legal team will also argue that he had already spent a cumulative period of 15 months or over 4 years in pretrial detention. The bail will also be based on Kanu's life-threatening medical conditions, namely the heart ailment, hypertension, and potassium deficiency. And now business news. Nigerian Senate on Thursday confirmed 12 members for the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, with a charge to immediately formulate policies to salvage the country's ailing economy. The MPC is made up of CBN Governor Olayemi Kadoso as chairman and 11 others as members. The confirmation followed the presentation of the report of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions headed by Senator Adetokunbo Abiru. Senator Abiru told his colleagues that the nominees are not only experienced in their field, but also possess the requisite qualifications to excel in the MPC. Membership include 4 deputy governors, Muhammad Abdullahi, Bala Bello, Emem Usoro, and Philip Ikeazo. However, Senator Abiru pleaded for the inclusion of Lamido Yuguda, whose name was omitted from the list. Speaking immediately after the confirmation of the Kadoso as chairman of MPC and 11 others, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, hailed President Bola Tinubu for selecting men and women of great expertise that will help the country with policies that will help turn around the CBN and redirect the monetary policies of the Federation for the good of all Nigerians.
I rise to move the motion that the nominee for membership to the board of the Monetary Policy Committee, Mr. Lamido Yuguda, who has been screened and listed on page 4 of the report, should be included and was conspicuously missing in the concluding part on page 13, should now be included as a member of the committee in the final consideration.
Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Olayemi Kadoso as chairman of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in support of this confirmation say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The name of Mr. Yuguda be included in the final recommendation as having been screened, found fit and proper, and cleared by the committee to be a member of the MPC. Those in support of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Confirmation of the new MPC members comes days to the first policy meeting of the Apex Bank under the new CBN governor, which has been slated for February 26 and 27, 2024. The Federation Account Allocation Committee has shared the total sum of 1,149.861 billion naira for January 2024 Federation account revenue to the federal government, state, and local government councils. The revenue was shared at the February 2024 meeting of the Federal Allocation Account Committee, chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun. According to a communique issued by FAC, the 1,149,816 billion total distributable revenue comprised distributable revenue of 463.079 billion naira, value-added tax revenue of 391.787 billion, electronic money transfer levy revenue of 15.922 billion naira, and exchange difference revenue of 279.02 billion naira. Total revenue of 2,068.145 billion was available in the month of January 2024. Total deduction for cost of collection was 78.42 billion. Total transfer, intervention, and reforms was 639.926 billion, and savings was 200 billion naira. Gross statutory revenue of 1,151.808 billion was received for the month of January 2024. This was higher than the sum of 875.382 billion received in the month of December 2023 by 276.426 billion. And now to international beats. Lawyers of imprisoned Niger President Mohamed Bazoum called on West African bloc ECOWAS Friday to demand for his release on the eve of the Union Summit. Niger has been ruled by military leaders since they ousted Bazoum in a coup last July. Since then, he has been remained locked up with his wife in the presidential palace in Niger's capital, Niamey. In December, the Court of Justice of the Economic Commission of West African State ordered the release of Bazoum as well as his return to power. According to the lawyers, Bazoum has not been brought before a judge and has not received any visitor except his doctor since October 19th. In early January, Bazoum's son, Salem, was released from prison and transferred to Togo, where he is currently. Salem is still accused of plotting to jeopardize the authority or the security of the state. On February 13th, the leader of the Nigerian military, Abdulrahmane Tiani, said in a national television interview that the release of Bazoum was not on the agenda. That the ECOWAS summit in Abuja, Nigeria, on Saturday will examine the political and security situation in the region. Pioneer President of ECOWAS, Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, has called on the bloc's leaders to lift the sanctions slammed on Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic following military coups in the countries. Chambers, currently the African Union AU High Representative for Silencing the Guns in Africa, made the call in an interview with newsmen on Friday. While speaking ahead of the ECOWAS summit slated for Abuja during the weekend, he also urged Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger military leaders to withdraw their threats to exit from the sub-regional bloc. He called on all stakeholders in the West African sub-region to heed the recent call of former Nigerian head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, retired, to end the prevalent conflict and unite the people in the area. Military authorities in Guinea have lifted restrictions on internet access, which were imposed 3 months ago and sparked protests. Residents observed overnight on Thursday. The move came a day after trade unions in the West African country announced an unlimited general strike for Monday to pressure the ruling junta to release a prominent media activist, cut food prices, and restore internet access. The military, which seized power in a coup in 2021, has said the internet restrictions were needed because of a security problem. On Monday, they dissolved the transitional government, which had been in office since July 2022. The junta did not give a reason for scrapping the government, a move that has exacerbated tensions in the country. Under international pressure, it promised to hand power back to elected civilians by the end of 2024, but the opposition has accused it of authoritarian thrift. Journalists have been at the forefront of protests against media censorship, in addition to curbing access to the internet. The authorities have blocked major television channels and jammed radio frequencies. Secure Jamal Pandekia, Secretary General of the Union of Press Professionals of Guinea, was arrested in January for participating in an unauthorized protest. Unions are demanding his immediate and unconditional release. A court was due to rule on Friday whether he should be jailed for 6 months, as prosecutors have requested. And now, entertainment news. Second half of the P-Square band, Paul Okoye, popularly known as Rude Boy, has debunked claims of Idris Abdulkarim that American rapper 50 Cent and his crew assaulted the group at a concert in Lagos in 2004. Abdulkarim claimed in a recent postcard interview that 50 Cent crew flogged and chased Nigerian artists, including P-Square, out of the backstage area at the concert. He said he was the only Nigerian artist who refused to be intimidated out of the backstage. Reacting during a recent Instagram live session with fans, Rude Boy said P Square never attended the show due to the inability of the organizers to reach an agreement with them on the booking fees. He said Abdul Karim betrayed Nigerian artists by going behind them to accept peanut from the show organizers after they had already agreed on lucrative performance fees. Sensational Afro-pop act Dice Alice is one of the artists who evolved Nigerian pop music by combining Western pop music and Afrobeat to deliver a contemporary touch. After taking a hiatus from music, the award-winning artist has made a vibrant comeback with a new single that will herald the arrival of a new project. His new single titled Dicey Baba is a self-proclamatory tune that starts with a sample of Fela Kuti's 1986 record Teacher Don't Teach Me Nonsense and metamorphosed into an instant club anthem, serving as an antithesis of Dice Alice's reinvention and innovation as an indigenous creator. The record is a perfect introduction for fans who have been anticipating new music from him after taking a 24-month break following the release of his chart-topping EP Ladies First in June of 2022. Dice Alice does not stray away from his usual chest-stomping as we have seen on his previous record, like Alakori and Money Dance. On Dice Baba, he alludes himself as a savior who is tasked with the responsibility of saving his fans from the hands of oppressive teachers and metaphor for his peers in the music industry. This single is the first offering from a string of releases that will herald the arrival of a new body of work from the seminar musician. Here now is ATN Sport News. Nigerian defender William Trust Ekong says he will consider playing the Saudi Arabia Professional Football League in future. Trust Ekong was named the most valuable player 2023 African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. The 30-year-old is said to have caught the eye of a number of clubs in the Saudi Arabian top flight during the competition. Centre-back is currently on the books of Greek Super League outfit PAOK Salonika. The former World Field player admitted that he would be interested in playing in Saudi Arabia if he had the opportunity. Draws for this season's Europa League round of 16 was conducted on Friday. Liverpool has been paired with Sparta Prague as they continue to fight on forefront in Jurgen Klopp's final season. Bayern Leverkusen, who remain unbeaten this campaign, will play quarterback. Marseille were drawn against Freiburg while Roma faced Brighton. The final is to be played in the Dublin Arena in Ireland on May 22. Top athlete and dignitaries joined hundreds of mourners at the funeral on Friday of Kenya's world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum in the nation's athletic heartland where he was born, trained and died. Kiptum, the 24-year-old father of two, was killed in a late-night car crash on February 11, just months after shattering the marathon record in Chicago. President William Ruto and World Athletics head Sebastian Coe were among those attending the funeral in the Rift Valley village of Chepko. Kiptum's wife, Asinat Wiltre, was overcome with emotion as she read a fearful tribute to the marathon prodigy. Although Kiptum only completed in 3 marathons, he won all of the races, posting 3 of the 7 fastest times in history for the event. Coe said his death was a cause of intense sadness and eulogized the young athlete for scaling the highest peaks of achievement during a short life. And that's the global news for tonight. But before we go, another look at the major stories. Rivers police parade dead body of wanted cultists. Okpebolo wins postponed Edo APC governorship primary. INEC publishes 2023 general election report. And FACT shares 1 billion January 2024 revenue to federal government and others. Guinea's junta lift internet restrictions. Dice Alice pay homage to Fela on his single. And the European League round of 16 draw confirmed. I am Treasure Timidare. Thanks for watching. You can follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram at Atlantic Network Peace, and Unity are the pathways to progress.
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.